So now I'd like to give the floor to Johannes Mainusch.
Okay.
Johannes from
Moin
the
Moin. Hello. Who here is from Germany? Who understands Moin Moin? It's a German greeting from the north of Germany. I am Johannes Mainusch. I'm actually not a teacher, and I'm not too close to education. I have been an IT manager in startup companies of the best part of the last 8 years. I've been working with Xing. So who of you is not in Xing? Who of you is in Xing? Xing, you know, the LinkedIn of Germany. Then I've been working for Otto, that's the retail e-commerce shop, lately for the German Post in Berlin in a startup company. So one of my things where I experience that education somehow is a bit more 19th century-like is when we try to hire people. It's really tough hiring people, and usually I would be on computer conferences to talk about our companies. But anyway, today I'm going to present the Hacker School instead of David. David is ill. David is one of the initiators of the Hacker School initiative. And I have a couple of slides and I have a 40 seconds video afterwards where we show something from our class. Have you heard of the Hacker School before? No? Who in the audience is a teacher? Who of you actually teaches actual children? So that's about a third, if I see it right. Okay. Education conference, 1/3 teachers. That's good. So here's the Hacker School. And let's see whether the remote works. We have a mission. Actually, David did not write our mission, but I wrote our mission on top of it. We would like to inspire young people to learn programming and to discover talents that might otherwise remain undiscovered. And in a way, it is an initiative made from people working in companies and programmers, actually nerds, you know. So these are the 3 guys that invented it, David, Tim, and Andreas, and they come from Hamburg. They have a small digital agency in Hamburg. And if you try to hire staff in Hamburg, like programmers, you're basically lost. There are no programmers. So you go to Berlin because you have a bit more international. Then in Berlin, this company Zalando comes around and says, next year we want to hire 800 technicians. Oh no, we crossed that out. We want to hire 1,000 technicians. So every other company in Berlin now hears that and says, oh shit, they're going to pay more wages. And so it's difficult. If you want to have a different job, it's quite simple. You take a 3-4 weeks Hacker School course and you go to the main place of a city and you say, I'm an unemployed computer scientist. And the world will change for you. People will invite you for dinner and show you nice contracts and stuff like that. So, but why did we do Hacker School? In Germany, we have this education system, and the big 4-letter word in Germany is MINT. It stands for Mathematic, Informatic, which is computer science, I suppose, Natural Sciences, and Technologies. If you look at the word, you can pronounce it nicely because there is a vowel in that word, the I. Only in reality, there is no vowel in that word. Basically, the German education system does not host computer science. They've even crossed it out of the curriculum of schools in Hamburg. I'm not sure about the other countries in Germany, but in Hamburg we don't have that. So that's our motivation, and we are actually, you can hear that, we are a bit appalled at this situation. So how do we do it? Or how did David, Andreas, and Tim go about it? They said, okay, we want to bring together motivated software developers, people actually working in companies, and motivated companies, and somehow get them inspired to do something about the situation. And then they thought, how could that possibly work? What they did is, they started the Hacker School now 2 years ago. The first session was 1.5 years ago, and the idea was to have 2 hours in an afternoon where people would teach children. So that was about the idea, that was the structure. 4 weeks in summer, only 4 weeks, 1 day in a week, so it's only 4 times you need to do something as if you want to get involved. We started in June 2014 in weekday afternoons with 2 hours, and the idea was then, but how do we get teachers to teach children? So they thought about, we write to motivated developers. We call them teachers or coaches or trainers. What was the real task of these teachers? None of them are educated in teaching children, right? So what they did is they said, okay, this is not really a school. We do not have really a curriculum. We don't know what the programmers will teach the children in these 2 hours. None of them has a diploma in teaching. Probably they have a diploma in computer science or stuff like that. So what we did is we call them inspirers. The idea is really to inspire kids and young people to get closer to computers. Then they wrote down their idea on one sheet of paper and sent it out in the community. They put it on Facebook, and the response was quite big. There were a lot of people starting in Hamburg who would say, okay, I sign up. It's only 4 afternoons. I can do that. So, and some of the companies said, yes, we'll sponsor that because it looks cool on us. So they started with a kickoff with no children. There was beer involved in the kickoff in their company. And we were hanging around, and then we were thinking, what can we do? We were pairing up. That's actually an interesting concept. Immediately, the computer scientists are they're very close to pairing up when they work together. We do pair programming, so why not do pair teaching? So they said, okay, I don't want to do it alone, let's do it in twos. And then they thought, what can we teach? And there are different things. I think the class that always goes, which is always booked out immediately nowadays, is you do Minecraft with Java. Now, Minecraft, have you heard of Minecraft? Have you heard of Java? Computer language, you combine the two. Children don't know Java, but they know Minecraft, so they like that. I do a class with Raspberry Pi computers and with Scratch. We had a session yesterday on that. So these were some pictures of the kickoff. No children involved yet. So that was like 2 years ago in winter. Then we got companies, lots of companies in there who said, well, we think that's a good idea. We donate some money, or we donate some computers, because the whole thing is a non-profit thing, right? They set it up as I don't know what the company type, I think it's a Verein or something like that, but basically they don't have money. And so companies started sponsoring it. So we had inspirers, we had the means to do it. That was all checked. Now we only needed motivated participants, children. And so what they did is they went to Facebook and posted some posts. They went over Eventbrite, which is an internet platform where you can book stuff. And came June, where we wanted to start, like 2 weeks or 3 weeks beforehand, we had 3 children. Like 10 classes for 10 children each. We could accommodate 100 or so. We had 3. So obviously we realized that this is a good initiative, but nobody has heard about it. So then it looked like this, there was something alive and then a flat line. At that time, we talked to companies and to magazines and also to news stations, and they broadcasted it a bit. And at the end, over these 2 weeks broadcasting, we had 50 plus children. There were still some classes in the first term who were not filled up. My class started with 4 pupils, 2 girls, 2 boys. And I could have accommodated 10, but 4 was fine. So we started with that. We went to the locations where at the Hacker School in the Ministry Company or the CCC, have you heard about the Chaos Computer Club Day? The Hamburg, they offered us some place to do that, and we went to school. Here's some images of the first classes. And you see the age group at that time was, we thought we start with 14 plus. There were some 13 years old in there, but quite old. One of the experiences we have nowadays, the last term around, I had an 8-year-old boy in my class, and we start with 10 years because you get them younger much better. And the prime initiative, the prime directive we always tell the children is, now we go to Hacker School, there's only one rule: have fun. Don't need to learn anything, just have fun. We always say that. Children then always say, that's different from real school. There's no fun in real school. And we tell them, yes, there has to be fun in real school as well, otherwise you won't learn anything. So these are some pictures on that. I have a little 40 seconds video clip of 2 boys later on. They get t-shirts at the end. So what's now? Up to now we have 300 plus inspired kids. We have 3 schools around. There was the summer, the winter, and just 4 weeks or 6 weeks ago we had the last classes. The idea is spreading. We're starting that in Berlin now. We're actually looking for inspirers in Berlin. The group in Berlin who's organizing this, they particularly focus on girls in that. So it's kind of spreading. Yesterday we had some people who got interested in Denmark for that. So what they did is they wrote down a manual for if you want to start and participate, how do you do that? And actually we learned some values in the whole course. We like rather to inspire than to teach, rather to show things than to tell people what to do. And we like this kind of free organization rather than have a rigid curriculum and rules. And we like involvement better than sponsorship. So these statements are somehow alike to the Agile Manifesto, which is... Have you heard of the Agile Manifesto, by the way, teachers? Yes, I had the feeling this is a hacker thing. Good. So actually, we come back to our missions. Hacker School wants to inspire young people to learn programming and to discover talents that might otherwise remain undiscovered. That's the Hacker School, and maybe you can show the 40 seconds video. What you see now is two boys, 12 years old. They paired up. After 3 weeks, they showed us their television game, Knights vs. Dragons, which they programmed. There's some sound to it.
Sollen wir das erklären? Warum sollen wir das erklären? Wir müssen in die Kamera.
So you get the kind of spirit.
Okay, was habt ihr gemacht?
Wir spielen jetzt ein Spiel, ein Scheißspiel, das wir programmiert haben.
Die Feuerbälle hat er gemalt.
Ja, das sind schöne Feuerbälle. Und
Die
in
sehen
3,
hässlich aus.
2, 1, geht es los. Hui!
Die Feuerbälle hier, den hat er gemalt. Das sieht so
Ich finde der schön.
Ja, du.
Oh nein. Moment, jetzt möchte ich mal den berühren. Oh, ich habe Schaden gekriegt. Oh, ich hab keine Pfeile mehr.
Ich habe keine Feuerbälle mehr.
Okay, so
Leute,
Ja, großartig.
Coming soon.
Gebt euch mal selber Applaus, das habt ihr gut gemacht.
Nahkampfwaffen coming soon ist von mir.
These two went totally berserk with the idea that they can create something which was not told to them, what they invented themselves. And that was one of the highlights for me in the Hacker School, to see children to discover that programming and that computers give them a way into creativity, that they can create something that has not been there before. So, thanks, that's Hacker School.
Thank you.